Gennady Golovkin is coming to the end of his career, possibly by 2022, and never managed to land the elusive Floyd Mayweather fight he wanted.
For me, this is my dream fight.
When Triple G was bulldozing every opponent on his way to a middleweight record of title defenses, he has spoken about a potential bout with Floyd Mayweather, claiming he would have no problem facing and beating the unbeaten American.
Of course I beat him. This is boxing, this is big business.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. said he would make easy work of then reigning IBF, IBO, WBA middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin at 160 pounds, despite the fact he struggled to make weight for the bout.
Triple G, he haven't showed me any heart yet. He wanted to stay at 160.
By 2016, Golovkin was at the peak of his powers and wanted the money man to come back again for a mammoth paycheck.
Is Floyd scared to fight you?
I don't know, this is business for him, not for me.
Golovkin wanted to be challenge Mayweather for his pound-for-pound crown. He was confident that he could add the American to his impressive list of knockouts.
Mayweather could win this fight by simply making Triple G miss.
At the time, the middleweight king had claimed 21 straight knockouts.
He's out of here.
Sadly, the fight never happened. Welcome to Boxing Extra channel. Press like and subscribe and let's take a look at our opinion. Who would win in a fight between a prime version of Floyd Mayweather and current multiple belt middleweight champion Gennady Golovkin? Mayweather was an Olympian, and while he received a bronze, he may well have won gold in the 1996 games in Atlanta had it not been for a highly questionable decision loss to Bulgaria's Serafim Todorov in the semi-final. To date, the Todorov loss remains Mayweather's last official defeat. The former pound-for-pound king is the most efficient fist fighter in modern boxing history.
This fight. Big left by Mayweather.
During his 130-pound title reign, Mayweather was willing to assume all necessary risks in terms of who he faced and how he went about breaking them down. Back then, he averaged more punches per round than his opponents and threw many more power shots than jabs. His offensive accuracy was excellent, while his defensive numbers, while better than average, weren't especially spectacular. Once he rose to welterweight, however, Mayweather tightened his game considerably and became the ultimate proponent of low-risk, high-reward boxing.
And there's a knockdown on a left hook.
In his 7 sampled welterweight fights, Mayweather's average output plummeted. That's because he became supremely efficient on offense, while his defense became nearly impenetrable. It was a unique style with the left hand low, the roll of the shoulder, and he was able to catch shots or make punches glance off him. His defense was brilliant, and that's why he was able to carry on until he was 40 years of age. Then, signs of vulnerability became apparent courtesy of a determined Marcos Maidana. Mayweather beat Maidana in 2 fights, but had to work much harder than in the past. Even after the Berto fight was done and Mayweather walked away, the Kazakh was still willing to boil himself down to 154 pounds. And how would the best of Mayweather and 147 fare against a prime middleweight Golovkin, the Kazakh sensation, who admitted that a clash with money would be a dream fight? After ending his successful amateur career in 2005, Golovkin made his professional debut in May 2006 in Germany. On August 14, 2010, after 18 wins and 50 knockouts, Gennady Golovkin got his first major middleweight title. Golovkin was determined to become a worldwide name and put on an impressive performance in his American debut by battering Gregor Proksa.
Golovkin of Kazakhstan, the most rapidly burgeoning star profile in boxing at this moment.
Golovkin's victory over Martin Mari was his 13th consecutive successful title defense, placing him third all-time in consecutive middleweight title defenses behind Bernard Hopkins and Carlos Monzon.
You need amazing show, just call me. I'm staying here. I'm ready for everybody.
Golovkin defeated David Lemieux via 8th-round knockout to unify his WBA, IBO and WBC middleweight titles with Lemieux's IBF title.
My goal is all the belts. I'm staying here. Look, I have 4 belts.
With this 21st consecutive knockout victory, Golovkin passed Monzon for most consecutive middleweight title defenses.
We don't know if he is great until he gets in the ring with another top fighter.
Mayweather vs Triple G promised to be a pay-per-view bonanza.
For me, this is my dream fight, because I respect him, respect his style,
Back then, some even placed Mayweather as the underdog in their possible fight.
Mayweather needs to avoid him like the plague. He's just too big and he's too powerful for Mayweather. Golovkin's
comparative youth, ring IQ, counter-punching and big power win him this fight. Golovkin is big hitter for the 160 class and never has had any issue with poleaxing men a lot bigger than Mayweather.
Triple G is the favorite against everyone, including Floyd, south of 168 pounds.
Going down 6 or 7 pounds for the first time in his entire professional career may have had damaging repercussions.
I'm going to 154 just for Floyd, because I understand this is the biggest fight in the world.
But that could have been another reason why Mayweather would fancy the job though and taken on the momentous task. He calls himself the best ever.
6-time world champion, 5 different weight class, 20 championship fights. I fought the best from all over the world, from De La Hoya to Ricky Hatton, and the list goes on and on. I have nothing else to prove to the world.
Therefore, dominating that generation's best middleweight in Golovkin was a legacy enhancer.
Triple G, he haven't showed me any heart yet. He want to stay at 160.
Ultimately, doing what he did so emphatically to Manny Pacquiao would be a never better fit.
When you look at him in the ring, you think he fights as naturally as a fish swims.
Fans always want the best to fight best.
Who's the smartest fighter you've ever seen?
Floyd.
He went out with a whimper against Berto. Mayweather missed the chance to silence even those most staunch doubters about his greatness.
I will pick Floyd to win this unanimously and easily. He will box rings around Golovkin.
If he could have pulled off the victory in his twilight years against Golovkin, there would undoubtedly have been no more questions to answer.